a world where myth intertwines with reality and fantastical beings tempt fate and fortune. With a new mechanic and roster, each path, decision, and encounter will paint your journey.
Hey Tacticians, I'm Riot Blue Cove, a gameplay designer who's most proud of my work across the legendary units of this set and sets past, Mecha Leona.
And I'm Sloan, the gameplay designer behind the set mechanic you're about to encounter.
We're so excited to welcome you to our new set, Inkborne Fables.
In the world of Inkborne Fables, brushes with fate and mythical creatures are inevitable. So we created Encounters, a new mechanic that brings the thematic to life. At various points in each game, you'll have chance encounters with legendary beings. They can be just for fun, or literally game-ending. Some encounters have a small impact on your game. If Alawi shows up, she'll grant you some free rerolls. Encounters set, and all tacticians get way bigger, then shrink down a bit, with no gameplay effect. Why, you ask? Well, set's just passionate about bulk and cut cycles, and sometimes it's fun to have a more normal game of TFT. Then, there are the game-changing encounters. Cho'Gath, for example, gives players a choice. Feed the beast and permanently sacrifice a shop slot in exchange for a reward, or play it safe and keep your shop fully intact.
I've got to talk about this next one, which comes from some very loud player feedback. Fishing minigame enthusiasts, we see you. When you meet Tom Kench, you'll want to stand in puddles to collect fish for the River King. The more fish you collect, the more loot everyone gets. And then there's the Kain encounter. If Kain appears, he'll announce his return on a predetermined stage. When he returns, he ends the game. Whether you're first or eighth when that time comes, your fate will stand. Encounters will show up in a variety of ways and will impact all players equally. Over the course of the set, you'll have the chance to see more than 70 unique encounters, but expect some of the spicier ones to be more rare.
Now let's talk about some of the traits you'll discover in Inkborne Fables. First up, Exalted. If you love adapting on the fly, you'll love Exalted. In each game that you play, a new subset of champions will be given the trait, creating novel opportunities. This trait buffs Exalted champions and their adjacent allies, so you can play it as a vertical or splash it into other comps for support. That flexibility is vital because you'll be building dramatically different comps each game as the Exalted roster changes. Next, there's Mythic. Mythic units gain a bunch of stats. After 4 combats, these myths become canonical. They just double their bonus stats. Hui, League's sad lad artist, will make his debut as a 5-cost Mythic. His artist trait lets him paint duplicate copies of your benched units. We're also revisiting a fan favorite, Fortune, so get ready to bring out the thumbnails. But Fortune is especially exciting this time around because for the first time ever in TFT, we're introducing a new character to Runeterra. Our new tank Yordle is an absolute unit. Well, by Yordle standards, because he's only about 4 feet tall. This fluffy fellow will join the ranks of tanky Yordles, aka just Poppy. Despite being a 1-cost, he scales nicely into the late game, because the more interest you earn, the more permanent health he gains.
Okay, now I've got to share my favorites. First up, Fated. Bond 2 units together and you'll make them stronger. Now Kith. Speaking of favorite couples, there's one more unit I want to call out, Zaya and Rakan, who enter the set as a single 5-cost via their unique trait, Lovers. The trait allows you to swap which lover takes to the battlefield based upon where you place them. Each lovebird has their own ability that will also tag in their off-board partner for support. Ready to build your own hero? Storyweaver champs create a build-your-own summon in the form of Kale. As you write her legend, through reaching trait breakpoints, you'll have the ability to empower her spell, grant her a new passive, or even see her ascend. Now we'll pass it over to this set's engineering lead to give you more info on the 5-cost for Storyweaver that required all new tech to live up to her Blade Dancer moniker.
Hey everyone, I'm Anurag, the engineering lead of Inkborne Fables, who led the tech for Irelia, and I'm here with Winston, the gameplay product lead for this set.
Hey everybody.
Usually when we make a champion in TFT, we have plenty of examples to draw from in League or previous sets for the tech. This was the first time where we had to build the tech for a champion from the ground up because the concept was just so unique.
When I first saw this, I thought it was her ability, but it's actually just her auto attack. Engineering is at the core of making games. Designers and artists can dream up the wildest things, but it always falls to engineers to figure out how to actually build them. So when design wanted to bring Irelia's legendary blade dancing abilities into the game, we went to Anurag and said, design wants to do something impossible. So in a real way, we went to engineering to see if we could make the blade dancer's blades truly dance.
We wanted Irelia's missiles to weave smoothly from target to target. At the time, this was impossible. It was hard for us to create missiles with smooth paths that were more complicated than an S shape. We solved this issue by using a combination of Hermite splines. These are basically equations that tell a missile how to move in a specified shape from point A to point B, while making adjustments for the chaos that is a fight in TFT. So basically, whenever Irelia hits a target, she decides what the next target should be and how intensely the missile should turn to the next enemy. Then after she hits them, she repeats the process.
And things like this unlock new possibilities for the future of TFT. Inkborne Fables is a prime example of how we're trying to push the boundaries of TFT as a major player within League Tech and the Runeterra universe. Our new tank Yordle unit is of course another example of this, but there's even more we've been working on. Elune, who you know as Aphelios' twin sister, has always been the disembodied voice and never the independent lunar being. Well, now she's making an appearance of her own, so she can blast her enemies with lunar energy. Inkborne Fables is the most content-heavy set we've ever created, thanks to the efforts of all of our teams working in harmony, including QA, art, engineering, design, and many, many more. But these teams aren't the only ones cooking up new content and experiences for you. Hey Alex, can you paint us a picture of what you folks on cosmetics have been working on?
Hey Tacticians, I'm Alex, a product manager for cosmetics on TFT. With Inkborne Fables, we're introducing a new way for you to get chibis, little legends, arenas, and more, with a focus on eliminating some of the randomness you see in treasure realms today. Coming midway through this set, our rotating shop will offer a seasonal selection of in-game content you can buy with a new currency. You'll get this currency through passes, treasure realms, and events, regardless if you're a free-to-play player or mythic content enthusiast. This currency will be used in the rotating shop, where we'll have a changing selection of content, both old and new. And if you don't see anything you like during one shop rotation, you can save up for something in the future. It's about choosing the content you want. The overall goal of this update is to increase agency in how you choose to approach collection. So we're making a couple of additional changes. With the addition of rotating shop currency to treasure realms, we're reducing the drop rate of mythic content, but also reducing the price of each treasure realm pull along with it. We'll also be adding a milestone reward track, similar to League's Masterwork chests. These changes will result in less investment for each individual pull, more rewards along the way, and more control over acquiring the content you want. That's it for me. Look forward to more info on the rotating shop as we get closer to its release. Thanks for supporting TFT, whether you're still repping River Sprite or flaunting your finisher at the end of a fight. Now I'll pass it over to Mariah in our Singapore office to talk about some of the new stylish content coming in this set.
Hello everyone, Mariah, one of the producers for cosmetics on TFT here, and I'm honored to share what the team's been working on for Inkborne Fables. First, let's get chibified. With the set's release, we're introducing Chibi Morgana and her spell-binding mythic variant, Chibi Majestic Empress Morgana. Wow, that's a cool look. Also, during our release patch is a new mythic variant of a fan favorite chibi. Chibi Spirit Blossom Ari is the perfect chibi to guide your foes to the afterlife. But new chibis aren't the only thing in store for Inkborne Fables. Handan is a new species of little legend that's never made a mean face. Well, they've never really made a face at all. And finally, our Heaven's Celestial Court Arena. Koi points do make the perfect place to relax. even if that point tends to transition into a spirit realm with glowing fish circling the court. With that, let's see how you can embark on your own journey in the mythical realm of esports.
Hey Tacticians, I'm Michael Sherman, lead for TFT Esports. Since our last dev drop, we've had a few major events. So let me start off by saying a huge thank you to everyone who came out to Vegas for the first TFT Open. Congrats to Malala, who took home our first ever Tacticians belt. It was such an incredible weekend, and I can't wait for our next Open at the end of this year. On top of that, we just crowned our Remix Rumble champion this weekend. We're filming this before said championship, so whoever ends up winning, congrats. I thought you were the favorite the whole time, no cap. Now, let's turn our eyes to how we're improving future competition. Over the years, we've opened our tournament circuits to 9 regions around the world. But that resulted in 9 unique regional formats that are hard to follow and know how to get involved. We've also heard that competitors feel like they're playing in qualifiers for qualifiers, and the seeds that set championships don't represent regional strength. So, starting with Inkborne Fables, our regional cups will be shifting to a pan-regional model, built around EMEA, APAC, the Americas, and CN. This allows us to simplify formats around the world. This way, competitors can better represent their servers, build new rivalries, or friendships, and take advantage of TFT's unique ability to compete cross-regionally without lag being an issue. These pan-regional tournaments will also become the new path for players to earn a spot into set championships. Expect an update from the esports team with all the particulars soon. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone who's ever cheered for their favorite TFT player during Remix Rumble, and welcome you to Inkborne Fables.